Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lightning is here today to do One Piece episode 648 review. Now, of course, that link to the episode is going to be in the description box down below on OnePieceOfficial.com. So, that being said, this episode, honestly, well, this review is going to be quick. It has to be quick. Because this episode is simple. And I'm going to make this as efficient as possible, okay? So, when it comes to what I actually did like in the episode, when it comes to what was actually good, they actually did highlight the fights between Law versus Flamingo Fujitora, even though in this episode, Fujitora was like MIA, like he was nowhere in sight. In the last episode, Fujitora, he was floating around, just raining down shit, like he was a goddamn wizard. Like he was Lord Voldemort fucking high and just fucking Abracadabra, just firing shit from the sky. And then, in this episode, he's just nowhere, Fujitora, so that's kind of weird. But, especially considering the fact that his observation haki is pretty powerful. At least that's what I would assume, since he's blind. But, when it came to those battles, not only the battle of Law versus those two, but also Luffy versus Don Chinchao, they actually do a better job highlighting these fights in the anime as opposed to the manga. This is very true. This is very true. Because in the manga, these were glazed over. Like, they show you like a few scenes at the beginning. Like, they show like the jump. You're like, oh my god, like wow, at the beginning. And then they deviate to like other stuff. And then, like, you see, like, little snippets of what's going on with Law, with what's going on with Luffy and Don Chinchao on the monitor that Zoro's watching. And when Kinemon's also watching as well. But the Law and Fujitora and Flamingo, that was even more so glazed over. So, the point here is that I did like how they gave you some stuff when it came to those fights. Especially when it came to Don Chinchao and Luffy, because Luffy goes gear second, warping around, and he starts to, assault Don Chinchao. Don Chinchao able to react to Gyusek Luffy quite easily, in fact. So, very nice, very nice. This guy took I think it was a jet cannon? Yeah, or a jet, but no, I want to say cannon. He took a jet cannon or a jet bazooka to the gut, and he fucking flipped over. So that's pretty cool. Now, also, Burgess comes in there, alright? And he's stoked. He comes in there stoked. And then he's like, yo, who's this guy? Who's a little dude? Fill me in, fuckers. Like, what the fuck? And you can see Cavendish and Bartolomeo's reactions like, oh shit, Burgess. Whoa, Burgess. So, big deal. Alright? Because Blackbeard's in spiking, and as a result, as has Burgess. Now, whether or not Burgess is the strongest among the Blackbeard pirates has yet to be known. Because I don't, honestly, to throw it out there, I don't think Burgess is stronger than Shiryu. I don't see anyone in that crew being stronger than Shiryu. There's just no way. Well, as opposed to Blackbeard himself, no shit. I mean, he has the power to damn destroy the fucking world. But the point here is that Shiryu, because he's like a renowned swordsman, and because from Jump Street, he was regarded to be at the same level as Magellan, there's no way Burgess is stronger than Shiryu. At least I don't see it. Now, moving on. The episode itself, because those were things that I actually appreciated and liked in the episode, and they're actually good. Now, we did make story progression in the sense that we do have the situation with Jola at the ship. That's pretty much very dire. They're still fighting against her, and she's still winning. In fact, in this case, she's pretty much shut down Chopper, Brook, and Nami. We have Law actually get in contact with the ship and tells them finally to get over to Greenbit, because I don't care what you guys are doing. You guys need to come to the Greenbit ASAP, now, immediately. Then you have the wrapping up, well, not the wrapping up, but then you have the continuation of the Usopp and Robin, and how they have actually left the Tontara village through the Tontara airport. And we actually get dialogue from the village leader or the president, the old dude, pretty much, the old Tontada. And he speaks about how their history with Doflamingo goes back 900 years. Now, remember what Virgo said about Flamingo's past. 900 years, so it's looking like Flamingo is either like massively old, or this pertains something more to his past, like maybe some ancestry there. Well, again, we'll see. But because I've never heard anyone in One Piece. I mean, Whitebeard, fucking 72 years old as shit, old as shit. So the thing here is that we'll see what he meant by that. But that's how long the history goes for. It goes for 900 years. And again, 900 years. That's at the end of the Void Century. In fact, no, that's probably... No. Either that's at the end of the Void Century or at the start of the Void Century. Because I forget. Because it was 1,000 years ago. And then I think it was from 1,000 years ago to 900 years ago. That's all blank. And then after 900 years ago, that's when history starts to actually be recorded under the winners, the world government. But again, that ties in that. That's very obvious. That's very obvious. Anything that pertains to 800, 900, 1,000 years ago, that ties into the Void Century. So it looks like we're gonna find out some stuff that pertains to that era when it pertains to Flamingo. Now, when it comes to, because I think that's mainly it. I mean, again, we did have like the Tontada. And one of the Tontada girls, like again, like that one, I think her name is Wicca. She was talking to Zorba, hurry up and going to the ship. And then you had the whole thing with Sanji and Kinemon, and that's still the same thing. Nothing's really changed. So when it comes to the episode itself, the animation wasn't bad. I mean, there were a few scenes during the Luffy Chinjao fight that are actually pretty cool. Like the initial Chinjao through the smoke headbutt, like pretty damn cool. But overall, the animation was solid. It was okay. But here's my biggest issue with the episode: the pacing. The pacing was astronomically slow. I was like, whoa. And this is how you could tell it was slow. Number one, there were a lot of these hype walking moments, just like niggas walking, like, yeah, da-na-na, 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 da-na-na. I'm like, shit, come on. Holy hell. Flamingo walking through the forest like he's a badass, and they're hyping this up to all hell. And then the same thing when it came to Usopp, like, Usolen, like, it's taking forever. Then you have like these stare-off moments between Law and Flamingo that take quite a bit of time. Like, no joke. Like, yeah. I'm like, just come on, do something. Like, seriously, like, jeez. Just straight up stare-off moments. What the fuck? Like, fuck each other while you're at it. My God. And this was like a real big sign. This was a huge sign. Normally, the One Piece episode starts 4 minutes in. Normally. They started 7 minutes into this bitch. Normally, it's the opening, then it's 2 minutes of recap around, and then we go from there. They had like 5 minutes of recap. I'm like, oh my, like really? Are we still recapping right now? What? Like, that's crazy. So technically, we only got like 14 minutes of episode. 15, 16 at best. No, that's crazy. That's what they did. And I guess that they slowed down the pacing considerably because they wanted to, you know, because Oda is absent, or not absent, like it's class. Oda is not going to be able to make a chapter for the next 2 weeks. So, I guess, well, this week and then next week there should be a chapter of One Piece. But the thing here is that in order to compensate, in the sense of the anime, they were extending scenes considerably. And I was like, whoa. Like, there were a lot of scenes that were just dragged out. Like, you can even tell in the fighting style Flamingo, it was unusually slow. Like there's one scene where Flamingo's cutting up all like these, like all the foliage, and Flamingo, he's like, I'm like, what was that? Like, what was that just now? It was slow. The pacing, I think, really shoots this episode in the foot. So, that being said, and when it came to story progression, again, like we are getting somewhere when it comes to Usopp and Robin. We're getting somewhere when it pertains to Law and Flamingo. We're getting somewhere when it comes to when it comes to Jola and Nami and Momonosuke and so on and so forth. But mainly, even though I do like what they're doing with the fights, and I appreciate that, as well as Burgess coming in there being pretty damn cool, problem is that the pacing is just atrocious. It's atrocious. You don't start 7 minutes in. Like, that's just some, no, you don't do that. Holy hell. I mean, at least normally you get like 20 minutes of One Piece. We got like 16. So it was not. So overall, the episode, subpar plus. Subpar plus. So I'm done. King Lightning, rate the video, comment, subscribe, have a nice day.